Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Erica with Memory Box Candle Co. And I make videos all about the journey of starting a candle business. And today's video, I just wanted to talk about some things that I find really hard about running a business. Candle business, business in general, most likely. Inventory-based business, I could also throw that in there as well. And I think this kind of sparked a conversation or a video topic idea in my head after making my previous videos talking about how much money I earned in 2022 and also then talking about my expenses of 2022, which obviously, yes, I'm being transparent, and yeah, it does take kind of a certain mindset of being like, hey guys, these are all my finances. This is how much money I spent. And I would say, 99.99% of the comments are always really positive. And I try not to compare myself to other people, but of course, there's certain times where, I can't help it. And people are like, wow, that's really interesting. I spent a lot less in business expenses than what I made. And honestly, that is the goal. That's my goal. And so that's fantastic. And it just kind of got me thinking like, okay, maybe I should really be careful about how much money I'm spending within 2023 on my business. And I think I can spend a lot less. And it got me thinking of the thoughts in my head of basically the hardest thing that I find in business is where to allocate my money, and also when I'm ordering things, how much to order, how often to order it, like the frequency, how much to order, what I should be ordering, how much at a time. Should I be purchasing the most amount possible in bulk to get that cost of goods lower, but then my overall expenses are going to be higher? So I know that that is just a part of business, and that is a huge part of business, and I know that I'm not alone with that. But I thought I would bring up kind of an interesting conversation just about how I feel about running a candle business and what I think are the hardest parts for me. So the first one obviously being just the whole spending part of the business. And I know I brought this up before, I still have a hard time of hitting the pay now button when I'm ordering supplies, especially when I'm ordering from Uline, because Uline is so expensive. It's always so expensive. And that's why I try to order a lot at a time. So usually my orders from Uline are between like $200 and $500 because it's the most cost effective in terms of shipping, because it's just so expensive to get it shipped, because I think it's like an overnight or a one-day shipping. So it's just really pricey. But I don't know. Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, man, I just feel like I'm just not good at knowing what to spend money on, how often I should be spending money, how much of each product I should be ordering, because I don't know if I'm going to be using it within that year. And I don't know if that's something that it's just a matter of building up that supplies of what you have, and then you don't have to spend as much money down the line because you're able to use all of that supplies and then make a lot more money because you're selling more. And it kind of got me thinking that we spent a lot of money on wax at the beginning of 2022, and that took us all throughout the year, and we still have a lot of wax left. So it made me think that maybe we won't have to purchase wax in this year of 2023, hopefully. But there is a possibility we may have to at the end of the year, just depending on how the year goes. But yeah, it just got me thinking like, man, is there a manual for this? Like, is there something that teaches you how much to spend on each thing and when to spend it and how to allocate your money in the best way? Because man, I just feel like that it's just such a hard part. It's such a hard part for business for me. Another thing that's hard about running this business is the fact that there's so much stuff. I'm looking at it right now. It's right behind, it's right behind here. It's right behind over there. And again, you guys know we're in a 1-bedroom apartment. It fills up pretty much the whole living room and dining room area. And we see it all the time. That's what we see on a daily basis. It's always all around you. It can be very overwhelming to see tons of stuff out in the open. And I can't even imagine the people that are very minimalistic and neat and tidy and everything needs to be really clean. and also running an inventory-based business. I could imagine that causing even more anxiety, because I know that most of the time when I'm walking around and I see it, it doesn't really bother me. But every so often, it just, something changes in me and I just freak out, and all of a sudden it's like they're all just all consuming and I just want to clean up everything all at once. And it just can be just a lot. It's a lot of stuff. And the more that you try to add to your business, that's just more stuff that you're adding into your home or your workspace. And I think that that's really hard, because it brings this sense of clutter and makes your space feel very, it makes it feel smaller, more crowded. And I know for a lot of people, and I definitely feel that way, is feeling like it's just very anxiety inducing and stressful, just having so much stuff. And for me, I just don't know where to put all the stuff that I have. Because there's a lot of stuff that I want to get, and I'll keep bringing more stuff in here. I have 6 packages at the front door right now that I need to open, and I haven't opened it because for some reason opening packages now has definitely brought on more anxiety, because it's more stuff, and then it's okay trying to figure out where it goes now. So that's definitely a really difficult part of the business, is just the physical intrusion into your life. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about in this video is the up and down wishy-washy of motivation to keep going and get up and work. The self-motivation, the self-discipline that you have to have in order to get your work done can be very, very challenging for me. I know it can be very challenging for a lot of you. And to be honest, even sitting down to film this video, it is 5:30 at night. And I was telling myself, you know what, you have to film, you have to do it. And now that I'm doing it and being able to talk, it's always pretty therapeutic, especially when I can make video topics like this, where I don't really have any notes or scripts or anything like that I'm trying to follow the basic guidelines of. And I get to just talk about it. And it can be very difficult to motivate yourself, to get yourself up and get to work. And on the flip side of that, so there's 2 sides to this coin. On one hand, I can be extremely hesitant on getting started with my workday, just not wanting to do anything, or I want to focus on something else. Maybe I'm really excited about a new recipe I found, and all of a sudden I'm baking brownies instead of making candles. It's like the most ridiculous thing. And I think that when it comes to the other side of it, of not knowing when to stop, or feeling like you have to work all the time because you see it everywhere. So going back to the inventory-based business, you're actually physically seeing everything that you need to get done pretty much at all times, especially if your candle business is somewhere that you see often on a daily basis, and it's always around you. Let's say it's like you have a corner of your house, or you have a separate room and you know that it's there, and you know that you need to be doing something, and just the motivation to either get up and do it, or the kind of discipline to tell yourself when to turn off the phone or turn off the laptop or turn off the wax pots, whatever it is that you're doing, can be a challenge. And that's definitely something that I don't know if I'll ever truly master that. The only thing I can be grateful for is that a lot of my weaknesses in business can be Chris's strengths. So Chris is my husband. He's now in this business full time with me. And a lot of that is something that he is very, very good at. He's very good at self-motivating, getting things done, getting work done, and then motivating me to get up and do it. And obviously the past, 2.5 or so years that I've been doing this, I have had to self-motivate and get things done. And when I'm really focused on a project and really focused on getting something done, I can really kind of hone in on it and get it done. But if I don't have something that I'm currently working on or focused on, it can be hard for me to think about what I need to be doing, because there's maybe 20 different topics in my head of what I could be doing, but nothing sounding like something that I really want to be doing in that moment. And if I don't want to be doing it, it can be hard for me to motivate myself to do it anyways, which is something, again, that I'm working on doing, of doing things that I don't want to do because it needs to get done. But I think that is all for my rambling and my little chat with you for today's video. If you could, please, in the comment section below, let me know what is the hardest part about running a business for you personally. What have you struggled with the most? That'd be really interesting to have this conversation, that knowing that nobody's gonna be perfect with running a candle business or a business in general. There's always going to be strengths and weaknesses that you're gonna have, and I definitely have my strengths and my weaknesses. But with that, I'm going to end today's video right here. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to leave it a big thumbs up, as well as subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also, don't forget to follow me over on Instagram at Memory Box Candle Co. And I will see you in my next video.